stunning new information to tell you about now on the terror attack in Benghazi, Libya, that killed 4 Americans, including our ambassador there. Multiple sources are telling Fox News that 1 year before the hit on our U.S. consulate there, members of Ansar al-Sharia, an Islamist militia group, moved in next door. We're told the State Department was warned that they were moving in and turned down requests for machine guns on the rooftops and sandbags at the American compound to keep everybody safe. Adam Housley following this story. Adam, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, Harris, a little bit less than a year's time, but still a long period of time had taken place when the U.S. had told, people on the ground there had told the State Department that they believed members tied to Ansar al-Sharia had basically moved in next door within 3 weeks of us renting the consulate. That's the first location that was attacked that night, where Ambassador Chris Stevens was killed along with Sean Smith. Within 3 weeks of moving in, next door, groups tied directly with al-Qaeda and Ansar al-Sharia bought the house. Now, you're looking at a map right now of our mission compound. It would be just to the right of that almost square area you're seeing there in the red. In fact, it was so dangerous to the night of the attack, as our forces were leaving and retreating back to the annex, they told everyone, take a left, don't turn right, because you'll drive right in front of that house. Now, we had a chance to talk with sources with direct knowledge about what happened that night. They tell us a couple of things. First of all, they say, quote, we warned D.C. about the guys who moved in next door, but nobody knew what to do and nothing was done. Again, that was coming from someone with direct knowledge, multiple people with direct knowledge that night. We've also learned that men on the ground specifically asked for a belt-fed machine gun and sandbags, but were turned down because they weren't aesthetically pleasing. And that it would upset the neighbors. That was the quote they've given to us. Now, we asked the State Department about that yesterday in a briefing, and we were specifically told that our questions were, quote, dubious. Then today we got a statement from the State Department that says, quote, there was a request, shocking, that came in from Benghazi on August 22nd, and it was considered in Tripoli on the day of the attack. It was contained in a list of security requests, so to say that the request was rejected is inaccurate. Now, these latest revelations continue to directly question the response or lack thereof before, during, and after the attack. We're also told, guys, that next door we had an issue, of course, with the people that were protecting our agency there, our folks there from the agency as well as the State Department and also some of our contractors. That group is called the February 17th Martyrs Brigade. We actually, it was a local militia that we contracted with. We're being told by our sources, not only here stateside but also on the ground, that that militia may have actually taken part or helped take part in the attack, and the person that led that militia left Benghazi on September 12th,
wow,
even as our guys were still standing on the tarmac. Harris?
You just sewed together so many things that were not connected, and now they are. Adam Housley with the report to set us up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, so Pete, our veteran on the couch, military veteran here, you have the neighbors saying, don't protect that U.S. compound with machine guns. Yeah. Well, now we know who the neighbors were. They were potential terrorists. No, of course they don't want us to protect.
Of course they don't.
consulate.
And I take issue with this characterization that a 240 Bravo belt-fed machine gun is not aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I find it very sexy.
I find it very comforting and
exactly.
aesthetically pleasing. I mean, this is basic force protection measures you would have at a facility like this. They don't have to be open and exposed sandbags. You don't have to have the weapon mounted at all times. Just basic precautions you could take. And we knew Ansar al-Sharia, if their next door is a terrorist organization, they'd showed 3 months further a big public display with 200 trucks and mounted machine guns and anti-aircraft. We knew they were heavily armed. We knew they had affiliation with Wahhabists, al-Qaeda types. And if they're living next door, you better do something about it and take the measures necessary. This is gross negligence by the State Department.
Well, and look what's rolled out since then, Ainsley. Now we're learning that this is the group that the Libyan army is trying to fight against as they're trying to take over Benghazi, like ISIS style, I guess.
Harris, why are we so worried about the neighbors? Why aren't we worried about our American men that are over there? Who cares if they're not beautiful pieces of machinery? I want our men protected, and they asked and they asked and they asked, and they did not get that. It is negligence, and this could have been preventable. Yeah. And now we have to explain this. The administration needs to explain this to the parents who now sit around the Thanksgiving table, have Christmas without their loved one. Yeah. Think about what that's like if you're a parent. It's supposed to be the worst thing you can ever go through.
What is the feeling in the military about this pattern of response from the administration, or lack of response, I should say, to anything but al-Qaeda? You know, that not
exactly
acknowledging that there are these other terrorist groups.
It's a fantastic organization. That's a fantastic comment. I mean, because they focus only on core al-Qaeda, and then everyone else, ISIS, Ansar al-Sharia, others across. Well, they're just affiliates, offshoots, not really core al-Qaeda. So they've more or less ignored the problem. And you've seen it in Libya as they try to take Benghazi back. You've seen it and ISIS in Iraq and Syria. This is going to continue. Islamists are on the march, and this administration are being willfully blind.
Yeah, but besides this, everybody knows, anybody who spent 2 minutes studying intelligence, that Ansar al-Sharia is an AQ affiliate.
Yes.
Okay, how many times we've said that on Fox News? We all know it. So the fact of the matter is, it is not even just, to me, gross negligence, it's malfeasance, because they acted in conscious disregard of a known risk, okay, that this could likely result in death of Americans. We failed to adequately provide security despite the very serious intelligence reports showing them. You know what they gave the Libyan Guard? Stun batons.
Right.
Well,
Someone
and
needs to be held
sandbags.
accountable.
Remember that? I mean, we remember seeing those. Hillary Clinton gave it an interview several months ago. She was asked about it. And, oh, you know, it's not my expertise to know how to protect the compound.
Right.
And then they had that video with Diane Sawyer, I think she sat down with. And all you saw were sandbags. We'll talk more about this as the news happens on it. For now,